million selling recording group and also full-time Catholic ministers. They are the Priests. There they are, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, fathers. Good evening. The three fathers, there they are, all the way from Craggy Island.
Oh, we've expected that.
You knew that was coming, didn't you?
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
I'm delighted on the show. That's the Priests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen. It's going to be fun. I can say this without fear of contradiction. They are the biggest selling priests in the world. They have sold masses of albums, and indeed, albums of masses. Hey? Hey? Here they are, before they come out, have a look at them in action. Here they are performing at Armagh Cathedral. Will you please welcome the men responsible for that beautiful sound, the Priests.
Down the highway skyline on the back of a hurricane. It's all exciting when you were young, when you were young.
Wow. Please take a seat.
Thank you very much indeed.
How lovely to have you here.
Great to
Wow.
be here.
It's wonderful.
You know, it's going to be hard for me to remember the names because you're all dressed more or less exactly the same.
It's confusing, isn't it?
Yeah, would you mind introducing yourselves to people?
I'm Eugene.
Eugene,
I'm the younger brother, Martin.
younger brother Martin.
And I'm David Delargy.
David. And you two are brothers and you're a friend of the family.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. Yep.
Wow, what a remarkable story. But we should just establish you're the real deal. You're actually priests who came together. You're not a manufactured band. You weren't put together by Simon Cowell or the little weird Louis fella, any of those.
No,
No, we're organic.
You're an organic.
We're organic. Homegrown, yeah.
priests. Well, how does it work then? How did it come about? How did you first start singing together as a unit, the three of you?
Well, I suppose we've been singing together about 35 years altogether. We started in 1974 when we were schoolboys together. Eugene's a couple of years ahead of us in school, so he paved the way for us. The school had a great musical tradition, Gilbert and Sullivan operas, and we took our turn, you know, taking on some of the principal roles. And we've been singing together all over the years, through college, through university, and over the last 20 years as priests in our diocese, so we've sung together all those years.
So were you singing together as a group before you all decided to become priests?
Yeah, we were. In a sense, we were singing together since we were children. At home, when we were children, our mother kind of encouraged us to copy the Fun Trap family because the Sound of Music was the big thing at that stage, and we kind of we didn't cut out curtains, etc., of course, to wear as a kind of a costume. But we've been singing since we were kids.
And there's your mother there, of course, encouraging you out on
Very nice.
And so what kind of material, when you were younger, because now obviously it's music which is appropriate for men of the cloth, but when you were younger, what kind of music was in your set list? What kind of songs did you do?
Yeah, I suppose we started off with Irish songs and songs from the shows and songs from, you know, Italian tradition as well. Those
So
would all have been...
opera as well, or any pop music at all?
Yeah, we did Lulu, we did Boom Bang Bang Bang, we did Sandy Shaw, we did songs from the shows, all that kind of stuff, the whole gamut.
And who did you sing for? Who would you travel and perform for people, or would they come to see you live?
Well, as pupils in the school, we would have gone to sing in different places for concerts, festivals, and as children, our mother used to take us to hospitals, to nursing homes, and even to some competitions as well. I remember Hughie Green actually comparing one evening as we were singing, and that was a fantastic experience. And the wonderful thing was we travelled in a special car. All the family were put into the one car. So that was a great treat for us as children. So we sang for a wide audience of people.
It was an exciting treat to be in a car together as a family.
Fantastic.
Why was...
We were very small, you see.
How did you normally travel? Like a donkey or a cart?
We were a bit like royalty, we had to travel separately, you see.
Did you wave at people as you went past? How did it happen then? How did you get signed? Because we've established that you're priests and obviously you were singing together still, I guess, for pleasure and because people knew you had the ability. But how did it come that you got a record company and they interested?
Well, it all happened out of the blue, really, Jonathan. We were approached by a percussionist called Liam Bradley, who was sent over by Sony to try and find a priest who could sing. And the hope would be that he would sing the parts of the Latin Mass.
So the record company said classical music is a big thing these days. There's a gap in the market. We're looking for a male priest who can sing beautifully.
Yes.
And he came over to Ireland.
Came over to Ireland and he contacted us and asked, our names kept coming up as he made inquiries. We went to Belfast and we did a little demo, the first demo we've ever done in our lives, sang a few religious pieces and a couple of secular pieces, and he videoed us on a mobile phone, a little piece we sang, Panis Angelicus, sent that down the line along with the other recorded tracks, and hey presto, in a couple of weeks we were approached by Sony.
You don't write your own material as such, it's all traditional material. It's all church material.
Well, we are actually now, we're thinking of branching out into that whole new area of maybe trying our hand at writing our own music.
And so how are you doing the writing? You're sitting down together with pens and papers and just throwing ideas in, or one of you...
Well, at the moment I've put my tunes, etc., into my old BlackBerry, into the voice notes, you see, just to make sure that I don't forget them when I go to write them down in music.
Well, this is a very modern-speaking priest here, ladies and gentlemen. Are you the kind of more technologically aware member of the priest?
Yeah, I'm the gadget kind of guy in the group.
So the album's selling fairly well. Presumably there'll be a few readies coming your way. I know some of it's going to your local parishes, I believe. Some of it's going to... Or is this news to you? That was a slightly... Because you went, oh, gee. Play along and have a word later. But I know that's what you are doing. Is that right? You've allocated some of the money raised?
Yes, we've set up we are in the process of setting up what's called the Priest's Charitable Foundation, and proceeds from the sales of the album will be diverted into that charitable foundation and then dispersed to various charities of our choosing. And we have kind of identified one charity that we'd all like to subscribe to, and that is the sick and retired clergy of our own diocese. We'd like to give a little bit of care for them in their old age.
Oh, that's a lovely thing. But presumably there'll be a little bit money left over in case you need a new BlackBerry.
Well, that's true, or maybe an iPhone, an Apple iPhone. That might, or any news. Pay off the old car, I think, first of all, because the bank owns as far as the boot, and I only own.
So really,
only a little bit.
The money hasn't started coming in yet, because the album's sold really well already, hasn't it? I have it here. The album's called The Priests, and it's got some tracks you will immediately recognise, like Ave Maria, and of course we heard a bit of Pei Jesu earlier on, and then there's some here I don't even know how to pronounce. But I'm sure I would recognise them when I heard them. It's that kind of stuff here. But it's sold... How many copies it sold, roughly, do you know?
I think we're approaching something in the region of 2 million, something around that.
That's quite something, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's kind of spooky.
It is. Let me ask you about the name, because you've called yourself The Priests, OK? I imagine it didn't take you too long to come up with that.
No, fairly quickly.
We didn't rule out some other names as well. We went through a kind of an encyclopedia of Latin names, but they all sounded just a wee tad esoteric. But at the end of the day, it's the simple name, and it does exactly as it says.
What about, did you consider any play on words? For example, Guns and Rosaries. You could have gone with that.
We've been called Pope Idol. We've been called
Pope Idol's good.
Yes.
Papa Do Preach. How about that? You could have called yourself that.
Priest life.
At the risk of sounding contagious, Soft Celibate. You know, there's a lot of plans you could have done.